He'll have nail holes. See, in Israel today, they're still looking for Messiah, but they expect a conquering king, and they do not expect him to come with holes in his hands and feet. But when the deliverer comes, they'll see the scars. He ain't going to be a black man. He ain't going to be Kenny Loggins. These pictures of Jesus are a waste of time. I don't care whether he looks, tanned or blonde hair, blue-eyed, or whatever it is. We're not going to know him by what we saw in a painting on the wall at the bookstore. We're going to know him because scars. Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm not rebuking you, but I pointed at her because she sent me a picture, and I jokingly told her, it's a great picture of Denzel Washington. Anyway, but everybody's got this image of Jesus in their heads. They think they know what he looks like. I'm here to tell you, no one knows what he looks like. But we will know because he's going to have holes in his hands and his feet. That, plus the fact he comes from the air like a bolt of lightning. He's got hair white like wool, eyes like fire, feet like brass, and when he speaks, people die. So it's kind of hard to miss it. I want to show you something here in Daniel chapter 9. We take the Great Tribulation as all these things we read are literally going to come to pass, and this is all going to happen in a period of time that is 7 years. And I don't have time to show you every reference that teaches this, but the main reference is in Daniel 9. And we have, from Daniel's day, we have the rest of Jewish history. The rest of Jewish history is given in Daniel. And he doesn't tell us about the church because, as Ephesians chapter 3 says, it was a mystery. It wasn't revealed. But he does tell us, he shows us clearly that there's a period of time in between the 69th and the 70th week he refers to here. So, in a sense, he does tell us there is a church age, or he wouldn't use those terms, but there is a parenthesis. So in Daniel chapter 9, I want you to first look at verse 24. And he says, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Now, real quick, 70 weeks. They're determined, this is not regarding the church. This is upon thy people, that's the Jews, and thy holy city, that's not the Vatican, that's not Rome, it's Jerusalem, the holy city. To finish the transgression and to make an end of sins. That's when Christ comes and he dies, but the end of sins is when everyone who's going to be saved accepts him and all the unsaved are done away with. That's the whole point. To make an end of sins permanently, eternally. And to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness. And when it says to anoint the most holy, he's talking about the Messiah being king. To anoint him as king. So verse 25, he says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. That would be 62. So what's 62 plus 7? 69. The street shall be built again and the wall, even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks, shall Messiah be cut off. That's when Jesus was killed. Now, if you do the math, I don't think I wrote it down here. Yeah, I did. You have 69 weeks total from the time of the commandment to go and rebuild Jerusalem. And you multiply that 69, it's weeks of year 7. 69 times 7 is 483 years. I don't have the exact date written down here, but I have the exact date that was given. And you take the date from the date that order to rebuild Jerusalem was given in Nehemiah, that's right. And 483 years from that point just happened to be to the day, the day that Jesus Christ walked into Jerusalem, rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. And they threw down the palms and cried out, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord," which was a fulfillment of prophecy. That's what David said in the Psalms would happen when Messiah comes. Only after he came in the city, like Daniel said, he was cut off. After 69 weeks. That leaves 1 week of years. How many days in a week? So 7 years left. And what does he say in the rest of the verse 26? After the Messiah is cut off, but not for himself, meaning he died for the sins of his people. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. And the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. The prince is who he's referring to in verse 27. It says, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week." That he, in the second word in verse 27, "and he shall confirm the covenant." That's a reference to the prince that shall come, the Antichrist. And in verse 27 it says that his covenant will be for 1 week of years, which is 7 years. And look what happens. In the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abomination he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation. That's the second coming. And that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So here is the time scale for what all these passages we read about the Great Tribulation. It happens in a 7-year period of time. And here's something to remember. I know I've said this before. I want to pound it in. We don't know the day or the hour of the rapture. The rapture could take place now, or an hour from now, or a year from now, or a decade from now. We don't know. Looks like it's close. But we do know when Jesus will return physically to the earth. And that is 7 years after this peace treaty signed. When this peace treaty signed, as a guy said, I hope he got saved. But for a while he said, he used to sit and listen to us talk, and he said, if I do miss out on the rapture and I'm here for the tribulation, I'll just see that there treaty being signed and I'll know I need to get right before the 7 years is up. I said, well, man, if you want to take that chance, miss the rapture and then say, oh, I missed it. Oh, well, let me check the news out here and see if they're getting ready to sign a peace treaty. And then they signed a peace treaty. Oh, I got 7 years. And that bum, he'd probably live it up for 6 years and 11 months and 28 days before he tried to get right. Yeah. That's right. People are like that, man. They're crazy. I don't make this stuff up. I can tell you, one guy, his sister's name was Paula. And she witnessed to him, her husband witnessed to him, I witnessed to him. And he said that he was around them a lot. He hung around that family all the time. And he was serious as could be. He said, when the rapture takes place, I'm going to grab hold of Paula. What? He believed that when the rapture took place, he could grab a hold of Paula and go up. And we tried to explain to him, listen, when that rapture takes place, I'm telling you, I could take you to the house and you could talk to the people. Heavily. And much of the day. But, when he was sober, we would talk to him. He'd say, listen, we tried to tell him, Dennis, man, when that rapture takes place, it's quicker than the twinkling of an eye. I mean, you can blink and it's done. I mean, and twinkling is like 1/1000th of a blink. I mean, it's before you could even know it. He just didn't get it.